Hello everybody, this is Catholic Dad, episode number 395, The Spirit of Adam. You know, the last video I talked about the Spirit of Eve, and I've been accused on this channel before of picking on the ladies, so I'm going to pick on some of the guys today. I'm going to talk about what the Spirit of Adam is. Spirit of Adam, you know, the whole Garden of Eden, the fall in the garden, you know, the serpent comes to Eve, manipulates her using emotion, tells her, you know, be disobedient to the Lord by eating from the tree of knowledge. And the first thing that she does, what is the first thing she does? She tries to convince Adam to eat from the tree of knowledge. And he does, right? And so as she's handing that apple over, or you know, or she's telling him to eat from the tree of knowledge, Adam has a choice to make at this point in time. Okay, he has a choice to either say, "No, I'm not going to do that. We're going to be obedient to the Lord," or his choice is, "Whatever you say, dear. Yes, dear. You know, let her be the leader, and he has to be the follower." And so when he chose to eat the apple, he chose not to be obedient to the Lord, but instead to please his wife and do whatever he needed to please his wife. So essentially, she became the leader of the family at that point in time through the fallen nature of man and woman. And so Adam, so let's think about the Garden of Eden, by the way. So, you know, God gives Adam and Eve this great gift of the Garden of Eden: unlimited food, resource, everything else. You don't have to labor too hard. You know, you have no modesty problems, and you know you're going to live forever, and there's no disease in the garden. It's wonderful. It's this great utopia. And then the serpent comes into the garden. Now, where the heck was Adam when the serpent was coming into the garden? And well, who knows where he was? He was either watching the whole thing, or he was allowing it to play out, or he was off watching you know, football or sports or something stupid, right? What Adam was supposed to be doing is protecting his wife, because his wife was a great gift from God. And so he was supposed to be standing right between the serpent and Eve and telling the serpent, under no circumstance are you going to manipulate my wife. I'm her protector and her guardian. You get the heck out of this place. That was Adam's job. And so in the last video I was talking about that, you know, the spirit of Eve, the one of the not submitting and being the dominating factor in a relationship, how was that undone? And that was undone through the spirit of Mary. That she, you know, when she was asked by the Lord, you know, to bear the Son of God, or from the Archangel Gabriel, she said, "I'm a handmaid of the Lord, be it done to me according to thy word." Well, so Mary undid Eve, the spirit of Eve. Who undid the spirit of Adam? And that was Christ himself. And so, you know, Adam's in the Garden of Eden, just hanging out, allowing the serpent to have his way with his wife or whatever it was, and he wasn't doing his manly responsibility of protecting the woman from, you know, the evils of the world, whatever they were, what they happened to be. Well, Christ undid that, and what he did was he went into the garden, not the Garden of Eden, but the Garden of Gethsemane. And at that point in time, it was a barren desert, kind of wasteland. And why did he go there? Did he go there to like hang out and not combat the devil? No, he went there in search of the devil, right? He went there to undo Adam's sin of being kind of passive and lazy and not standing up to whatever responsibility he's supposed to stand up to. And he went in search of the devil, to be tempted by the devil, to show the devil that the devil didn't have power over him. And then he left the garden, and he carried on through his passion, through the scourging and the crowning of thorns and the carrying of the cross, and all the way to the cross and the crucifixion. That Christ undid the sins of Adam, meaning you're gonna go in search of evil, B, you're gonna actually combat evil, C, you're gonna be persecuted for evil, and D, it's gonna lead to your death, right? You know, like you're gonna die unto the cross in the pursuit of what is holy and good. That's what, you know, that's what the crucifixion is. And that's exactly what Adam didn't do. He ran from his responsibility, or he hid from it, that he didn't carry it out. And so, you know, if the spirit of Eve is harping overbearing women, because it is for the most part, and you know, by the way, it's not only women, but you know, certainly there are harpy overbearing men as well, and everybody recognizes them to be a problem. Well, the spirit of Adam, lazy, pathetic, not hardworking men, not standing up to responsibility. Well, that's a truism in society today, and women aren't at fault for that. Women tend to do too much, and men tend to do too little. And so, men out there, by the way, you have a divine responsibility to keep evil out of your house, keep evil out of your parish communities, and to step up and have the hard, difficult conversations with whatever temptation is there, being the serpent. And so, if you want the spirit of Adam, you know, go be lazy, go be weak. Don't strengthen your body, don't strengthen your soul, don't strengthen your mind, and don't combat evil. Just sit idly back and watch your society collapse upon itself, which, by the way, if there were a sin today in this society today, it would be very strongly the spirit of Adam, because there are people with the political correctness and the BLM crowds and whatever Marxist movements are coming, like that is the spirit of Eve. But the spirit, like if a good strong man stood up and said, no, I ain't playing that game, most people would probably say, well, okay, I'm not going to try to dominate you anymore. But it's gotten to the point, by the way, that there haven't been enough good men for so many dang years that our society has been enculturated with the spirit of Eve because of the spirit of Adam, like the apathetic, lazy male that's not willing to combat evil. Well, what happens? Temptation creeps into your culture and your society, and you end up with all sorts of crazy things like, transgenderism, sodomy being normalized, gay marriage, contraception, destruction of the church, combating your pastor, you name it, whatever else. People fighting with the church, fighting with the priest, refusing to be obedient. And so the spirit of Eve, yeah, it's a problem, but it can be undone by the spirit of Adam. And so therefore, that's why in Ephesians, God says, men, or women, you have to submit to your husbands, and husbands, you got to love your wives like he loved his church. It's because a good, virtuous man, he has a lot more reason in his brain typically than most women. Women are motive reasoners, right? They use their emotions, and men should use just the facts, people. That's all he should use to try to determine what the best outcome for the family or society is. And so to undo the spirit of Adam, gentlemen, you got to become A, knowledgeable, B, you got to become physically strong, C, you got to be willing to do combat, and D, you got to be willing to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation to stand up for what's absolutely right. One of my daughters the other day, she heard about a guy crying in an uncomfortable situation. She said, our society doesn't need men crying because our eternal souls are at stake, and they're the watchdogs of our eternal souls. We need men standing up and having hard, difficult conversations, and fighting is what we need. Here's a young girl, like a little teeny bopper saying this. How many grown women do you know in your life that would say that? How many grown men do you know in your life that would say that? And it's absolutely true. The spirit of Adam is as pervasive, if not worse, than the spirit of Eve. And I think it's the spirit of Adam that needs to go away first, and then the spirit of Eve will collapse before it. So this is Catholic Dad making you think about it. Please like or subscribe, get the Mass, and pray the daily rosary. God bless you all.